it on IG. Okay. Okay, we good on both.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Okay, we good. Hey, look at technology.
YouTube is definitely live though
Okay.
this time.
Yeah. Okay, we good on both.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. See, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we good.
Yeah, man. We back Friday Night Live.
True.
It's been a minute. What, 2 weeks is a minute?
Yeah,
What's
2 weeks
been
is a minute at this point.
in this world content?
Right,
2
in this
weeks
space.
Last
In
time
this
we here,
space.
we talked about Playboy Cardi being compared to Michael Jackson. A little bit of LeBron
Wild conversation.
conversation. Um, you know how we do. We don't wait for people to jump in. This is we
Nah,
just here
man.
to be here. this is
This
this
this us sitting on the patio,
right.
drinking and talking, man.
Yeah, I might have a
Tonight,
guest. I don't know. I might have somebody else join in. Let's see what happens.
tonight's sponsor,
Yo,
Tito.
tell me that's not the one. No, that's not the one. That's it. You killed the tequila, right?
Yeah, it's so the añejo. I got a little more left than the blanco. The blanco is
Yeah.
yeah. You might want to get over here tomorrow if you want to get a little taste of that. Pause.
Yo. Yeah.
Yeah, just let that go. Just let that one go, man.
Nah, let it go. But you had a rant on Facebook that contained some things that I thought were very interesting, just some random thoughts.
Yeah, that's what they were too. Random thoughts at like 8:30 in the morning. I think like 9 in the morning, something like that. And it was just yeah, I don't know. I guess God put these things on my heart today.
Yeah. And one of those thoughts was about Ja Morant.
Yeah.
And I instantly, we got on the phone, we were talking about Ja
Mm-hmm.
and celebrations. And
Cheers.
yes, cheers. And I saw Cameron's response. Have you seen Cameron's reaction to the
I have not.
latest, the
I have
grenade?
not. No, I have not seen a response to that.
Yeah, he was, Cam is like, I'm with the shits. Anything that goes against the establishment, anything that goes left, anything, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm at the ignorance and all that. And I get that.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting,
Very.
But I have to give my 2 cents in from the door. You got a
Please.
job. You get hired to do a job, right?
Mm-hmm. You do.
No matter what the job pays, it's benefiting you because if not, you wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
taken it, right? They come up with guidelines and rules or whatever it is in order for you to keep the
Mm-hmm.
job, in order for you to continue to get paid. Cool, you abide by them.
True.
Some of those lines aren't so strict, so you do things on your personal time outside of the job. Job says, "Hey, that what you was doing, don't do that no more."
Maybe
Right?
not.
Don't do that no more. So similar to Gilbert Arenas, he mocked them. Like, yo, I did it. You slapped me on the wrist. You gave me whatever, but I'm laughing at you, right?
Okay.
Gilbert's the one that gave him the suggestion to do something else, do a grenade.
Okay.
And everybody's laughing, like, yo, this is funny. And I'm trying to find, like, I always try to find a younger, more ignorant version of myself. Like, I always
Right.
like, yo, don't be this dude in the 40s that's looking down, has been,
Right.
I'm always
Right.
thinking about what would I have done at 22,
At that
23?
age.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I can't find it, bro. I can't find it.
Listen.
I can't
Listen,
find
man.
the part of me that's like, yo, I'm gonna throw it all. I'm gonna take a chance and throw it
Yeah.
all,
Throw it all away.
right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
when you get a Nike deal, you gotta weigh it. Like, what's worth it, right? Like, what makes it worth it? I need to do
Mm-hmm.
something to mock y'all. It's not just the gun. It's not just a celebration.
Hmm.
Like now it's a mockery. Now Adam Silver is in his office. Like, yo, what we gonna do? How we gonna send this message?
Hmm. Yeah, because the message is on the way at some point.
Message is coming. So you gotta like, is it worth it? That's the question. Is it worth
That's and and that's kind of like where the rant came from because it actually started last night, and I found it interesting that I woke up this morning and the very conversation I had with my wife last night was a headline on ESPN.com. Because it was just so wild. Like I'm watching the game, just casually watching the game,
it? Mhm.
and I actually had the game on mute. So I see him like I'm watching it, but not watching it. It's kind of like white noise. I see him hit a shot. I see him do a little celebration. I don't pay no mind. But then I guess the commentators made a big deal of it. They played it back in slow motion. And then I seen the whole throw the grenade, hold your ears. I'm like, I paused it. I stopped the game. My wife was watching a whole nother show. I stopped it. I'm like, yo, listen, at what point does just trying to fit in or be that guy, or does your ego have to die because you're losing millions in the midst of doing all of this foolishness? Like, these are not just gestures and things that you're just doing because they cool to do. At this point, you've been suspended for being caught with guns. You did the little gun celebration against the Warriors. They pointed that out to you, told you not to do it. You did it the very next night. The
He
very
wasn't
next
just
game.
he wasn't just caught with guns. Let's give it the proper context.
Yeah.
He was on live brandishing
Live,
a firearm,
brandishing a gun.
which even if that's not against any NBA law, any
Mm-hmm.
legal construct or whatever, they said, nah, don't do that. You did it again.
Listen, never
Adam
mind
Silver
what
did
they
it again.
said. How is that for your brand?
It's not good for your brand. It's just not
Never
smart.
mind what they said.
Yeah, it's not smart. You're a Nike athlete, right?
Listen.
You got kids looking up to you.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that is it's and then you got incidents involving guns, incidents with the dude at the crib, incidents with you.
Yeah, incidents with you at
Like,
getting caught at the strip club with gun on you. Like
yeah,
this is repetitive behavior, and this is where it gets to. Okay, they tell you don't do this, you do it. They find you. You find something else that's even more violent in my eyes. Like you went from a handgun celebration to now you want to pull a pin and throw a grenade. I'm like, listen, celebrating is one thing. At this point, this is your ego doing this, but at the what your ego is costing you, your ego is costing you millions of dollars by the day. By the incident, your ego and your image is costing you millions of dollars. That playoff run that he had 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago, where him and Steph went at it, like
yeah,
he was right there.
he was
He
there.
was on the cliff. He was on the precipice of going. Like he was out of here at that point. But again, you want, I don't know if Memphis is rubbing off on you. You feel like you got to be tough in Memphis because you're from South Carolina. I'm sure I like you
Yeah,
have both parents. You grew up in a great family environment, from what I understand. You're Clarence. Clarence parents have a real good man. Like I don't understand why you want to put on the whole you shooting guns, you outside with guns, you doing all of this. I don't understand why that's necessary. And the problem that I have with it is not only is this your job where you're actually breaking rules that they're telling you not to break, but this is a job that one of only about 350 people in the world have. This is a job of that only a select few have. This is not even a job that, while others may be qualified, they weren't hired
yeah.
basically.
They didn't make the
Like
cut.
you didn't make the cut. Like this is an elite class that you're in, and you want to piss it off and throw it away. And I get being 25 because again, we weren't always this age. I get being 25, but whether it's the people around me or whether it's me myself, at some point, I got to understand Once I was at that point and they took me from the next 250, $300 million dude, and now I'm making 180, and not that that's to sneeze at, but I gotta understand the impact of what I just did. And going down that same road, I just don't understand the reason for the whole GTA like celebrations. This ain't GTA. This ain't you listen to Young Nudie out in the car. Like, you gotta realize you're at work. I can't go to work. I can't go to work and have, you know what I mean, Hove blasting in the background. Like, yeah, I hear you. I hear what you talk. Like, I can't do that. I can't take that to work. So you can't take wanting to be this tough guy that you faking to be. You can't take that to the court in timeout. You want to shoot guns. Your celebration is you want, like, what's the significance of throwing a grenade after hitting the three? It was a bomb. Like, what are we doing here?
It's a smack in the face to the league. But my
It
thing is, why would
is.
you, at this point, and I said this when we talked about this after Simba did that joint.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a mental illness, right? It gotta
It got
be.
to be something at this point. It got to be something at
Yeah.
this point.
Peace, Mister Rajesh neighborhood, Rajesh's neighborhood. Yeah, peace.
I can see
Um, I have to say, like, seriously, I feel like there's something off. And when I say that, I don't mean any disrespect to this man, but we've all known people that we grew up with
Listen,
that may not have been in a special class, may not have been diagnosed, but we know that there's something off, right?
true.
He is one of those people
Shout out
that
my guy
has
James in the
something.
building, DSU.
Yeah, shout out to
And yeah,
James.
he do feel like he's above the law. I don't understand why he does feel like he is above the law, and I don't know if it's because from me, and it could just be me seeing through the TV. From the TV, his pops is along for the ride.
Oh
He
yeah,
ain't
he
trying
is.
to lay no structure. He's not there to be a guide post to be like, nah, you shouldn't do that. This is bad for you. This ain't the way you want to go. No, you should be in that room now. He's not that guy. He out at the club with him. He throwing money with him. He doing everything that he doing, that his son doing. So if that's who your moral compass is, and you have nobody to ground you, like you have nobody else outside of that to ground you in something, like I get it. I don't know what I would be if I had millions at 25. But again, I know from October or late September to April or however long I go into the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
I got a regimen and a code I got to adhere to.
Yeah.
Now, summertime I can do what I want. No, I don't. I still don't want to get caught with guns, even though it's summertime. But summertime I can do what I want. But I think I do believe that it's all kind of a byproduct of the social media era, just having
Yeah, of
access
course.
to seeing everything and everybody feeling like, they gotta be on live while they out at the club and doing this, doing that. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Part of being a youngster, part of being youthful is rebellion. Like, that's part of what we all experienced when we were growing up. People
Mm-hmm.
getting pants on their waist, we gonna sag them. You know what I'm saying? People wear their clothes tight, we gonna wear them baggy, and it switches and it flips.
Mm.
Certain things catch on, then the youth wanna rebel. Kids wear hoodies in the summer and t-shirts in the winter. Like, that's just a thing that right to be youthful is to go against the grain. He's in that phase, but it always takes someone with a little more wisdom to say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
not this one. You don't got to do this one.
Listen,
This fight you don't do, right? Because you don't want to be the subject of the doc. I made the little post with
yeah,
the documentary, but you don't
yeah,
want to do that in 10 years. Talk
because that's
about,
next.
yeah, I
Because
was out.
that's next. Like I can see the title of the doc being "Can't Change What We Was," man. Like,
It doesn't
because
make
like
it doesn't make sense.
I just
It
don't
just doesn't
understand.
make
I
sense.
just don't. And even if you just put it in the context of, okay, let's say it wasn't a gun celebration. Let's take the gun off the table. Let's just take the gun off the table. Let's just say the celebration was I don't know, the Sam Cassell joint he used to have, big nuts,
Big balls, yeah.
running down the court, big balls. Let's say that was the problem, right?
Yep.
And league told him, "Nah, you can't do that. Don't do that no more." and then your next step was, instead of doing that, you going down, you holding your, like you doing something around you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah. You do a variation
because
of it.
you know, you do a
You do
variation
a
of it.
variation of it.
Like I just I don't want to just relegate it to the gun
Guns.
and the
Yeah,
grenade. Like
absolutely.
that's not. While that is a part of it, I still feel like, what is the point you're actually trying to make while in the process
Yeah.
tarnishing your image, blowing millions of dollars, leaving millions of dollars on the table, and at the same time, what's the what's the
The benefit. What is the benefit?
not even that. I'm trying to say, what's the image you giving to a kid that looks up to you that wants to play like you? Like what's the example you providing for that?
I think
Like,
outside of what's bigger than all that is, to your point, why, right? That's the whole thing.
that's
And
my whole thing. Why?
I see my man, White America tries to play so moral. This ain't even about morality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This ain't even about
This is
morality.
simply, I show up to work. My supervisor says, "Hey, we need you to not wear shorts, right? So you
Son,
wear long pants or short pants that stop while you know what I'm saying? Like you just
right.
doing something that's
Like,
you're taunting them, right? And it doesn't. I get it. Like you want to be the rebel, but when they say, "I, we don't want you here anymore,"
then what? Then what?
what's
And then what?
what's next? You know what I'm saying?
What's next? Because you can't be the dude that used to be the star of the Grizzlies, and now you working at the local Y training kids because they're gonna be looking at you sideways. And not that that's a bad thing, but you, like, at this point, you were at the peak of your powers. You were in that next class of being the face of the league. Him, Ant-Man, all the, like, you were in that next class of athletes that were ready to take over the league with LeBron, Steph, and them, KD on their way out. You literally, on by your own doing, by just wanting to play tough, be tough, have an image that you're not really like, whatever it is,
Yeah.
being at the wrong place at the wrong time, being with the wrong people, whatever you want to call it. You literally went from the ability to command a $300 to $350 contract on top of or whatever type deal for an endorsement from Nike, to now you're basically a liability that's always hurt, and no shoe brand, like Nike, you still got a deal, but no shoe brand is going to put you up there where you got commercials on every 20 minutes.
No, it's not gonna happen.
And all you had to do was stick to what you do, and what people celebrate you for is play basketball, but you want to do everything else. I don't get
How do
it.
you think the league is gonna respond to this one?
They're gonna give him a little while. They ain't gonna hit him yet, Paul. They ain't gonna hit him over the head just yet. What it's gonna take is, it's gonna take, like, on a road environment or something like that, somebody to point it out. Like, yo, he thought, like, you see how like Draymond and Steph pointed it out, like when he shot the guns first time, they kind of pointed it out, like, yo, what is this? It's gonna take somebody. And like I said, it's harmless in its action. Like, hey, I'm throwing a grenade. Like, I get it, but
Ant-Man was doing the guns last night. Ant-Man was putting them in his holster.
yeah, his is. Listen, I don't know, man. Doing this and this, like, pointing at somebody is so different.
It's just senseless. They gave Gilbert Arenas. He did this. That was it. David Stern was like, "Don't play with me.
Well,
Don't play with me."
they also were playing with guns in the locker room, like actual guns in the locker room too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he got the
I mean,
fine,
like, yeah.
got suspended. Then he did the gun thing at warm-ups. David Stern was like, "Get out of my league. Like, stop playing."
Yeah, man. Like, come on, you can't. Like, at what point? Again, you have to understand. These franchises are corporations. They're brands. They're Home Depot. They're brands. Like, they have their product is you. That's what people don't like. As far as from an athlete perspective, though, the brand is you. if I can't market you because your image is, oh, he always, shoots finger guns, or he always does this, or he always gets caught with guns, oh, he's been, he's been in the strip club. Like, if your reputation perceives you in a way that it's not a positive spin, I mean, at what point are you? I guess what Shannon and them used to say. They say, you only worth keeping is how good you are. The trouble they put up with is only going to be as how good you are. So
Rogus isn't.
If Luka did it in Dallas, would have started a trend. Luka, listen, seeing Luka in person, Luka talked big shit, major shit.
Yeah.
But none of it is guns. And if you think about it, he should be like, he kept like,
yeah.
Come on now. Yeah. Like this is everyday life from him. From
yeah,
what?
He
He's not from Serbia.
Real warfare.
Jokic from Serbia. He's from Latvia. No, not Latvia.
That's Dr. Doom.
Where's Luka from? What the fuck?
He's done one Dr. Doom.
Well, whatever he's from, he really know what that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Let's move on. I sent you a post about Nas and Mass Appeal Records dropping a teaser for their next 7 releases.
Shout out to Nas and Mass Appeal Records for this, man, because this is real. This is major, man. I feel like rollouts like this don't happen no more.
Yeah.
Like, you remember you used to have big time rollouts, like you had like the whole rollout with Month of the Man, like Redtober 1 month, and like album rollouts don't happen no more. Like, they don't build up. There's no anticipation. Next thing, you just have a project one Friday and everybody got 14 songs.
Yeah. Matter of fact, before I get into this, Will Smith dropped an album. Did you check it out?
Huh?
You didn't listen to it?
What you saying now? What you saying now?
Right. I listened to most of it.
No, I did hear the
Tantrum joint.
Yeah, the Tantrum joint with Jordan Lucas. I'm not mad at that.
That song was great.
I like the flow, but I mean, it's just Will Smith, so I don't. It's but yeah, I like that joint. I like the flow. I like the him and Jordan going back and forth. I think that's kind of tough.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff he's doing online, kind of just promoting himself. He's going to run now. He Drink Champs. He went to $1 million worth of game. He says he's still fresh. Yeah,
he still talks in fresh terms. Like, he still talks in 90s terms.
After listening to it, and I'm gonna segue into the
whole brother? Oh shit!
The album's dropping. What happened?
You listened to the whole thing? Oh shit!
Most of it. But
yeah, time.
Most of it.
yeah, time of the day.
No, I was driving. Listen. So what I deduced from this is, if you are an OG putting music out, you got to have a mission. Please. You got to have, it has to line up. You got to think, all right, I want to accomplish this with this project. So with Will Smith, the underlying theme is that he's not writing, right? When you got
clearly, it's clear.
Yeah, when you got Jordan Lucas and you sounding just like him on the joint, nobody
just like him. Well, yeah, nobody's believing that you wrote that.
You're pinning it. So with that said, let's take being nice off the table. Like, you're not coming back telling people, yo, I still got it. I'm nicer.
So why do it?
This leads me to my point.
Shout out my guy Shaq in the building, DSU in the building.
Yep. So you have to think about yourself. All right. If I'm not going to be the nicest in the world, like, I'm not showing people I'm nice. Am I making hit records? Is there a Summertime on here? Is there a version of that? Right? Because you got some sing-songy joint. You got some, I think, some Akon types joint. He got Friday on there, whatever. Shaq, what up? We don't want to hear Anthem from you unless it has the vibe of Summertime, because that was your most adult joint.
Yeah, Summertime is
yeah.
I don't think Summertime will ever get old.
Correct.
Never.
So you're not killing them with the bars because you didn't write them. You got a lot of bread, so you can do anything promotional-wise. You can do a video for every song if you want, and it could be the best video in the world. So you have reach.
That's why it's not fair. It's not believable. Man.
So
I
his
don't want.
mission,
Yeah, I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but go ahead.
no, but his mission should be to propel others. Like his mission should go back to Philly, find the hottest five,
Hmm.
seven rappers. Like, yo, I'm about to give y'all
True.
this platform. I'm gonna put a verse on it, kind of like Dr. Dre, and the rest of it, I'm gonna be
It's on
highlighting
y'all.
y'all.
Right.
I'm gonna use me to promote the next up and coming Philly MCs that may not
That
have
would
a
have been
voice,
dope.
and
That would
that's
have been
it.
dope.
Like because nobody's gonna walk away thinking, "Yo, Will Smith is ill now," or like you're not trying to generate $1 from this. Like what? Like you know what I'm saying?
But
Like
what was the? That's what I'm saying. Like what was the? And I get, you know, I guess when you get to a certain point where you've, I don't want to say done everything,
done
but
everything.
you get to it. Yeah, when you get to a certain point where you feel like you want to get back to your roots, so to speak. And I think that was I think to me this is a part of the whole trying to come back and backtracking after the whole slap thing because I still don't think he's rebounded from that. And then you add
That
on the
yeah,
whole yeah
that's gonna be part of it.
yeah
But
you
yo,
add on the whole him and his wife situation. Like yeah, I think this is still trying to
you gotta
heal
show
and bounce
Shady
back.
still got it.
He want to show Shady he still got
Yeah,
it.
it's midlife crisis. But what Rogan just said, I thought when one gets more seasoned, they pen gets better. That's the
That's
topic
the
right there.
thing. That's the topic.
That's the topic right there.
That is the topic. When one gets
What
more seasoned, they
happens to an MC, a writer, an artist as you get older?
I need a haircut.
What happens? Like you would think what? You would think because I heard Rakim's latest project,
Hmm.
and to my point, he had a bunch of features. He had a Skyzoo was on there. He had a lot of people on there
Shout out to
that he
Skyzoo.
was shout out to Sky. He was pushing people. But in terms of his writing, does your mind get sharper? You know what? Your mind does get sharper, right? But you know what you lose? You lose the practice, the
Yeah,
art
you
of
did.
doing it a lot. Like you're not
Yeah,
if you're not actively rapping, writing,
this is
flowing,
true. This is
that
true.
that delivery is not the same. I'm sorry.
It ain't. It ain't.
We talk
It's not
about
the
this.
same sandwich.
The line that comes to you that was your slang,
From back then, yeah.
you're not
Yeah. It just
and we
don't
can get
really quite.
detailed, which is why we need to A&R these projects. We can get detailed with let's go for instance, the Lloyd Banks that used to body it in 02, 03 with certain
Hmm.
punchlines and metaphors. Now that same style of punchline and metaphor, it doesn't hit the
It
same
don't hit the
way.
same.
You
It don't
have
hit
to
the same.
frame it differently. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not
Don't do it, son. Don't do
no. But
it.
if you're not understanding that, what would happen is, yeah, your mind is sharper, but you just it's like you ain't been running, you ain't been out
You ain't
there.
been in the gym. You ain't been in the
Yeah.
gym.
You go to the gym and they
You
doing
won't hit the speed back the same no more.
right. If you play on the court right now and they doing all types of crosses and step backs and side steps,
Yeah, side
you know what I'm
steps and
saying?
euros. You like what the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you don't have the basics and understand how to defend what's coming, you're gonna look crazy out there.
son. Listen, how I look at it is this: to that point, if you're not actively at it and just constantly with it, not only trying to find new ways to do it or
Look at Ty.
whatever you want to call it, what?
Greetings, pricks.
This guy, I can't deal with this guy back again.
Oh, he's the
Prick,
greatest.
Prick Senior, how goes it, my guy?
At
But
least the MC
yeah,
part.
if you're not in it and active with it, this ain't. It's not one of them games where you can step away for 8, 9 years and then come back like, nah, I still got it. Again, the way your mind works, those same punchlines that you used to come up with back in 07, 08. You
Yeah.
try that shit now, like, and by comparison, like if you think about it, when we listen to the few joints that we listened to on Redman new album, it was a
late.
lot of them joints that was like, what? If you want to bump, get proactive. We like, what is this? 04? Like,
And
so
that's the part when you break it
yeah,
down to the minor details. Taco,
Hmm.
you light skin, said you had a very profound post. Good job. Um,
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, prick.
yeah. It's amazing that we all have relationships with this guy. Pause.
Yo, this guy's
Um,
he's the worst too.
yeah. Nah, but those are the things that you got to watch out for. Cause I know, yo, I'm telling you, as you get older, your mind is sharper, right? So
So
you
you
thinking
think?
back to you like MC Shan on it, like I know this is gonna be fire when I say this, right?
Yo,
And you thinking
yo,
it's hot,
you think it is fire?
but back when it was hot, you could use bat to rhyme with combat, and then it was hot.
Yeah,
Now people
yeah.
are multi-syllabic rhyming all the way
And
at the
they
end of the bar.
coupling and bringing the
They
end of the bar
coupling
rap. Yeah,
eight
yeah.
bars rhyming. The setups are different. The setup line is hard.
The game has
It's not
changed.
a it's not a here it comes. He
Nah,
said
no
word
disrespect
Reggie
to Reggie.
made it.
Reggie's my guy.
That's
That
his
was just a
guy.
conversation. Yeah, that's my guy. I've been. We used to
Don't
have Redman arguments all the way back in the '90s. Like I'm a
we
Redman fan. I'm never dating. That's my guy.
we got
But
proof.
like just kind
We
of
got
what
proof.
yeah, we got proof of that.
Them lines
But
was
like just the
definitely
conversation was
creepy.
like listening to some of those lines as he tried to use some of and I will say the feel of the album is nostalgic. Like it feels like
Yeah.
a
Oh, nostalgic.
90s 2000 project. So I don't want it to come across like he was trying to sound like, a new up to date current rap or whatever the case may be, if that's what you want to call it. But it was just some of the lines that he used as far as like metaphors and his punchlines. We were like, ooh, that was kind of 08ish. They
Yeah.
just sounded a little like they would have been great a little while ago, just not right now.
So with
So
that said, how does one like Slick Rick comes out April 18th? How
it's a
does
cringe level 1 through 10.
huh? Oh,
It's
cringe
a
level.
cringe level 1 through 10. Not too bad. Maybe about hard 6.
It was about a 7.5 for me.
Oof.
Oh,
Oh.
some of them was 7.5. Yeah, it was
7.5. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
7.5. Yeah. Some of them were bad. How does one sound like themselves, not try to sound young, but still sound current? That's where you need help.
No,
Me.
that's where you don't do it. Because that's too hard of a box to fit in. Like,
No, it's not. Because Tracy Lee sent me a joint last week,
okay.
right? And we've had these
Shout out to Trey, me
conversations with
too.
shout out to Trey.
Yeah, we've had this conversation with him.
And it was a time when he sent us some joints, and he had doubles on there. And I was
Right.
like, yo, try a version without the dust. Like,
Without
let
the
your lead
doubles.
breathe. And he was like, yo, why? And I explained it. The joint he sent me, straight lead vocal. That's just
Mm-hmm.
one aspect of being kind of trapped in that time period where
Right.
you was trying to say
He's
the
so used to
line,
doubling.
double the up against the wall. Like
True.
he's trying to catch it, it's double the line. It don't come through all the way. Like, yo, let your lead breathe.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one aspect. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he caught on. I don't know if he, did it because we said it, but that was something that can be implemented.
Mm-hmm.
And Vic said it's all in the beat. Yes and no. The beat selection matters a lot. The beat selection does matter.
Beat selection matters a lot, but I feel like some beats you let them breathe. Some beats you can just let breathe and kind of pick your spaces, but at the same time, you gotta I don't know, man.
Authenticity is supposed to be what you're doing. It's supposed to be.
Authenticity is what it is, but you just gotta find a pocket. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
a lot of what these new dudes are doing is they finding pockets that rappers back in the days didn't really find. Like people back in the days, like when we was, 99, all in 99 and the 2000s when they first took over.
Yeah.
It was you stayed in the structure of the beat. You stayed within the bars. You stayed at the end of every bar, and you
Yeah.
like now it's rhyme for 2, take the 3rd, don't rhyme it again until the 8th. It's you know what I mean the same.
That's what the pros are doing. When you say
Yeah, and
now,
that's what I'm saying.
when you
Like
say now, you're talking
when you
about
talk
the
about these
elite.
top tier, these
Yeah.
elite level dudes that are, you take Cole's verse on 95 South, like taking that whole verse and ending the verse, the epistrophe at the end of, this shit too easy
Yeah.
for me now. Like, and
Yeah.
you take that through the
Whole
whole
verse
verse.
rhyme.
People wasn't doing that back then. But you're doing it and bouncing back, leaving it, coming back to it, you rapping it, you're doing so much with it, and it's not just here's the dance, RAW. You know what I mean? It ain't just it just changed. Yeah, mystical and Silk the Shocker or pockets unto themselves.
Right.
So I don't
Yeah,
even want to
Mystical
mention that.
creative pockets. But then you take rappers like G Rap, right, who were ahead of their
Okay.
time with
Okay.
with couplets, with rhyming words, with multisyllabic flows, and
Rhyming
just
bars within bars.
rhyming bars within bars. Somebody
Yep.
like him, now his struggle would be content, right? Like, what do we want to hear from someone from at that age? Like, can you still rhyme like that and use words that are not simplistic and have content that is believable or that we care about, right? That's
That's
the
the part.
difficulty with not doing it for so long. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because I don't want to hear guns and violence. That's me personally. I don't want to hear guns and violence from somebody over 50. Chip Fool, like, yeah, Chip Fool's one of
Yeah,
the
Chip
people
Fool. Yeah.
we talk to that's
Absolutely.
still, his flow is impeccable. His flow was impeccable back then.
It was impeccable back then.
Yeah. But again, that struggle with somebody that has been out of the mainstream spotlight, you never want to seem like you're trying. You never want to seem like,
And that's the difficult part. Like you never want to seem like you're reaching. You never want to seem like you swerving too far out of your comfort lane and what it is that you do. Like you never want to seem like that.
that's why this
But
Massive Field thing is big, because if he
yeah,
can
it is.
create a platform for people to continue to not fall off, people can keep dropping joints. Like, yo, I
Yeah,
know I'm
that's what I'm saying. People
Field
keep dropping
and
joints.
drop something every year. Now we're anticipating joints. We calling out like, yo, son, drop CL Smooth, yo, Black Sheep, yo, you know what I'm saying?
And the
And
lineup is crazy.
keep that going.
Yeah.
Now,
And again, it's like nobody falls off.
now you gotta give them some constructs though. You gotta do 7, 8 songs, 10 the most, maybe
Listen,
one
10
producer,
is
because you don't.
max.
Yeah, 10 is max. You want
10
one
is max.
producer because you don't really want beats like, you don't want it sounding like they trying to sound like something. Now
Uh-huh.
Vic brought up Hit Boy, and it's a producer that has to protect the MC. How do y'all feel about what Hit Boy did with Nas? Because for me, I feel like he did him a disservice because the music was trying to sound current, and when he did the samples that had nostalgia, it
Mm-hmm.
felt better, but it still felt like it was felt like he was imitating a Pete Rock, imitating, you know what I'm saying? And that just,
Yeah.
for me, personally, it didn't. I don't think it brought the best out of Nas. I could be wrong, but I feel like a No ID. Um, I feel like it was somebody else that he could have gotten with that would have made a better marriage. But what do y'all think?
Don't ask me.
Nas wasn't in my top five until the King's Disease series.
Oh, I'm out.
That's weird.
I'm out.
Nah, stay, please.
That's what he got into your top five?
Not old and weak, but
Woo!
updated boom bap. Actually, I liked it. Okay, updated boom bap. That didn't feel updated to me.
Man.
It felt like he watched boom bap on TV and tried to like recreate it. I don't know, man.
82. So wait, so I'm all right. So I just want to know.
Yeah.
So was this a different KD series? Like King's Disease 1, 2, and 3, like y'all people really thought they like those was, and I'm not trying to say that they weren't. I'm not giving an opinion one way or the other. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to see because I hear people, like I've heard several people in discussions feel like this was some of his best work. And like
Is he
I'm
still in
like
the
comparing it to
Yes.
like when you if we talk about his best work and you go back to like Illmatic, it was written and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and say even the one with even Life is Good.
Yeah,
But I'm,
life is
I'm just
good.
trying to say like that the KD series is
Still
people
Matic.
really consider this his it's like this his best work.
Well, Vic said not because it was great, because he's still in the Congo after 30 years. Shaq said it felt forced. Compare KD to the rest of class 94. But I think that's what we're saying, that
And that's the thing. You can
the fall off is it's a thing where guys aren't active for so
right.
long. And we've done hip hop a disservice by not allowing people to continue to put out music. Maybe it's because, the streaming services have made it
Mm-hmm.
easier. But this has been, 10, 12 years now. People have had the opportunity to put music out on their own independently. I just believe that with something like this is what we've been asking for, something that we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to allow OGs a space to put music out. Um,
Absolutely.
so yes, if you compare Nas to the class of '94, people still rank him at the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I was just making a point that the producer, I feel like needs to be one person. It needs to be somebody that brings the best out of the artist, because that's
Yeah.
that's not
That's
always
the
that's
thing.
not
Like
always easy.
you gotta get with a producer that you vibe with. Like that y'all got some type of connection or chemistry. Cause you can
Allen said it was his
feel
best work
when
since it was written to me. Hmm.
ooh, um
Okay.
nah. Like I said,
Jaden.
I think that Life is Good album was pretty dope.
Yeah, Stillmatic was dope
Um
too.
yeah, Stillmatic was dope too.
It is. I think it's
But yeah,
really about what we when we did certain Nas songs, it was really about what do you like certain artists for? Because some people
right.
like artists for different things. If you like when they paint verbal pictures and it's word art splattered all over the place, it's certain songs that's gonna resonate with you. If we like storytelling, if we like when he's spitting, other stuff resonates.
Right.
But I know for a fact when you throw on Illmatic, when you throw on, let's just say Illmatic, right?
Right.
Let's just
Right.
start.
You gotta stick with that.
No, I'm just saying the brand of him was the storyteller,
The
was the jazz
storyteller. Like
jazz
the,
backdrops, was the him not on the hooks. He was on 1.5 hooks on Illmatic, right?
right.
Like
Right.
everything
Which
was
was
either a
smart.
scratch hook, or it was a Pete
Which was
Rock,
smart.
or it was a Q-tip, or you know what I'm saying? It wasn't it was a sample. He was an instrument within that album. He was in the
Uh-huh.
project window over these loops and this feel that was something he couldn't even duplicate in his own career.
Yeah,
That
true.
feeling is what needs to not saying specifically needs to happen, but when an artist returns from a long break like that, you need to get with one person and say, "Yo, we're gonna do this
Hmm.
this sound." What Jay-Z tried to do with 444,
Right.
which to
With
me,
no ID.
yeah, he didn't nail it, but the concept of saying,
Is
I'm gonna give this producer my playlist, what I'm listening to right now, and
hmm
he's gonna make music based on what I'm listening to. That's as authentic as you can get,
can't get better than
and
that.
I'm gonna rap to it, and I'm gonna rap about my life today.
And that's what he
And
did.
yeah, whether you loved it or not, to me, that is the blueprint for the artists on this list. We got, who else is on this list? Slick Rick,
Ghost,
Raekwon,
Slick Rick,
Ghost,
Raekwon, Ghost.
Mob Deep,
Who else? Yeah,
Big
Mobb Deep,
L,
Big L.
Nas and
I'm still trying to
Primo,
figure that one out.
De La Soul. I'm pretty sure they
De La
have some
Soul.
Big L verses and
Yeah,
stuff
some
that's been
some some unreleased.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
love the idea though.
yeah. If
I
cats ain't
love
got
that
no
idea.
pain, they'll tell no tales, or poor takes from a rich state. That's another interesting take, because
It is.
50 Cent talked about making Get Rich or Die Trying in his grandmother's basement, and after he
Hmm.
got
Still
rich,
being broke.
yeah, it was really difficult to find it again, right?
Yeah.
And
I,
I,
and,
I've
and and like between that and And it's like you work so hard to get out of that, and then you stumble across a deal like that vitamin water deal. Like you just
Yeah,
stumble across 400 million. Like nobody thought about purchasing vitamin water. I think he bought it for like what, like 40, I think. I don't
yeah.
even know how much he spent on vitamin water.
Then you
And then
do
you
I
turn
get
around,
money.
flip that, then I get
Yeah,
money. And then that's a crazy hit. Then that takes off. So at that point, music is in the backseat. Now you're a businessman because you're not gonna make nothing close to that doing music. So at that point, music is what you do for fun, and now you just into business. But
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
about the pain that it goes along with writing, I mean, there's some truth to that. It
yeah,
does fuel writing. It does make the best music. We do talk about debut albums, whether it's Reachable Doubt,
hey,
Illmatic, Get Rich or Die Trying, Ready to Die. It's your life story in the beginning,
as
and
painful
it's
as it
it's
was
hard
in
to
my life,
duplicate
as
that.
Mary's best work,
It's hard to
it's how that
duplicate that.
works. Mm-hmm.
So, which is why you'll hear artists, no matter how seasoned your pen may be, no matter how much more skilled you are at writing, it's a little difficult to find that same connection
Yeah,
when you don't have the same struggle,
true.
you know.
This is true.
But like Alan is saying, I want to hear real life, and we talked about this with Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
You can creatively talk
sir.
about your life today because it may not be full of pain,
Right.
but it may be filled with something that can resonate with me. You know,
And that's what I think, and I guess that's partially our fault of
it
making
is.
rappers or artists feel like it's a young man sport. So you have to
Yeah,
maintain this young image, or you have to maintain and stay up what the young people are doing, because you
yeah.
feel like only young people are tapped into music, and you want to kind of, you know what I mean? Because you feel like, think about this.
Boats,
Imagine,
boats here,
imagine,
boats here. I'm sorry.
imagine Lil Wayne going into the studio
Mhm.
and asking, not even ask, imagine Lil Wayne going into the studio and saying, "I'm gonna make a record for a 45-year-old fan."
Mhm.
Just think about that. Like, not like in my mind, like, yo, I'm gonna make a 45, I'm gonna make a record for a 45-year-old. Not saying that, but like I'm going to make a record for the average 45-year-old person. Nobody's gonna make that because they feel like there's not a market for that. Like they don't feel like that's a market that they can tap into to be like, yo, you know what I mean?
What if he feels
I'm,
like
I'm,
he's
I'm
doing that when he rhymes on a primo beat though? Be like, yo, if I just rhyme on this primo beat
mm,
and I rap well, that's gonna get my fan base,
no,
my
because the content is still
money, money, money.
money, 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 sex, 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 and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So the content doesn't change.
I mean,
So
his life is different. We had some ideas, but what Alan said, like your grandkids, being scared to help family, your marriage, make it fly. Like
right,
I thought all of that was things that can be talked about. Your next stage of
true,
life, the kids, grandkids, everything, and it doesn't have to be oh woe is me. It could just be
true.
real in an inventive way. So, Vic said Nas always finds a struggle within real life. I can't debate that.
Yeah, I can,
He does
I
he
can.
does have songs that are definitely this is where I am now.
True, absolutely.
Um, I think Eminem is a product of that as well, whether people hate on it or
Hmm.
not. He does talk about where I am today. Now he does do shock rap, but he does talk about
That's
where
what
I
he
am.
is.
Royce does it well. J. Cole gets applauded for it. Kendrick,
True.
and these guys are growing
This is
up,
true.
but they're all active now, right?
And
So
they've stayed active.
stayed active. The
They've stayed
struggle
active.
with the guys that have been out of the spotlight, a la Redman, a la everyone, most of the people on this list, um, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
True.
interesting, and I think they can set a precedent for people. I think it can open up some doors because there's a lot of rappers that we loved that are still active, that still want to get busy, that still think that their pen is elite. Um,
Hmm.
And it's this is be great. Buster dropped recently. Fat Joe dropped last year. Like
True.
guys are still doing it.
True. Very true.
So Larry June, I still ain't listening to Larry June, man. I'm so behind on that. But
Yeah, you got to be in the mood
it's
for
okay.
that.
It's okay.
I listened to a little bit of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But that was it, man. I just wanted to talk about those things really briefly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, man. I got to put that rant in verbal form, like in video
yes,
form, because yeah,
you do.
I was just feeling like something today, and yeah, it was between the job thing and shout out to
Yeah.
before we get out of here, shout out to the great eight Alexander Ovechkin for breaking Wayne Gretzky's scoring record. That's a really
So he's
big
watching.
deal for me. Yeah, shout out to Alex Ovechkin, the great eight man. I'm a hockey fan. I don't know if y'all know that, but
Okay.
I'm an everything
Yeah.
fucking sports fan. So yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Grade A for breaking Wayne Gretzky's record, and yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
And shout out to Tony. I know people are asking when the contest is going to end. Tony's in the lead right now with the no
Hmm.
balls off the contest.
He's in the lead.
We still trying to push it a little more to get some more people involved. I don't think anybody gonna catch Tony anyway, but I mean he bodied him. So, but we want to get. I think we got a couple more in coming in pause, but yeah, we just want to get people rapping, man. So yeah, you spit it.
That's it, man. That's all we trying to do, man.
Yeah, but
Get back to
appreciate
the boards, man. Get back to the boards, cuz. Get
we'll
back to
get
the
there.
boards, cuz.
I'll give y'all another one. Come on with it then.
Hey,
Double
man.
up.
Come on with it.
Double up. If you need the track, Rogus, anybody that needs a track, will make sure to send it to you. Um, yeah, I don't know if people scared to rap, man, but
I don't know why.
it's what it
I
is.
can't call it, man.
Yeah. Well, appreciate y'all tapping in Friday Night Live. We
Yes,
might be back next
sir.
Friday. Hopefully be back next Friday. Keep this thing
Yeah, we'll
going,
be back
man.
next Friday.
Yeah,
One
man.
more. One more again. Do the people want the song?
Yes, sir. All right. Stop taking balls off. Peace.